So here's a quick little video before I make my special coffee for today. I was scrolling through Twitter and I saw that Pat Stares At, great streamer, love to watch him. I saw this post of him saying, whoever had the final say at YouTube of charging the primary metric of, whoever had the final say at YouTube of changing the primary metric from views and watch time to engagement, in quotes, arguing in the comments is going to be looked back on in the future as the internet's Thomas Midley Jr. Much like leaded gasoline, it's made us dumber and more aggressive. And this is in response to Gene Park's post commenting on how YouTube videos used to be about watching people play games and getting gameplay as opposed to talking about the controversy. So this Normat guy says, I feel like years ago I looked up a new game for gameplay on YouTube, just get gameplay or let's plays. Now it's all just controversy and drama. Why is everything doomer and rage bait nowadays so tiring? Well, to answer your question, it's rage bait and doomerism because that's what we've been sold for many years now. But it does lead into an interesting conversation. Gene Park goes on to say that I was so sad when the YouTube algorithm deprioritized the Let's Play format, pushing down people actually playing games and talking about them. And he raises a very good point here, because before Pat streamed by himself, he was part of a group called Tip Best Friends Play. They did a whole lot of Let's Plays. I watched so many Let's Plays. That was my favorite thing to do, was to find games that I couldn't afford or didn't have the console for, or maybe they were old or something, and I just... anything that would have kept me from playing a game myself, I could just go onto YouTube and I would watch a Let's Play. And they were popular. Everybody was making Let's Plays, everybody was watching Let's Plays, it was a good time. Nowadays, that's most definitely not the case, and I have a whole lot of personal experience with it because pretty much every attempt I had at making a Let's Play series on my YouTube channel has ended in disaster. I like to blame the game industry for a lot, because there's a lot of bad stuff that a lot of bad habits that they've developed over the years. But I don't think that this is really YouTube's fault either. Like, I don't want to blame the game industry, and I can't blame the game industry, and I don't want to blame YouTube for it either, because this has to do with people's attention span and what they're willing to sit down and watch. I mean, obviously we know that TikTok and YouTube Shorts are, for better or worse, the new in thing, because any content that's longer than 60 seconds is viewed upon as inferior or just a waste of time. But I have tons and tons of incomplete, what would have been Let's Plays on my channel, and the reason for that is people don't watch them. You guys don't watch them. When I say you guys, I'm being general, of course, but they don't generate the same type of views as a one video discussion about the overall quality of a game. I just want to make it really clear that numbers aren't everything, and I know that they aren't. I try my best not to look at them too much and like to put them out of my mind. It's not something that I care about too much, but I do have to care about them a little bit. Like, I can't sit here and tell you that they don't matter at all, because that would be a lie. They do matter a little bit. So when it comes to the things that I'm willing to do and the things that I'm not willing to do, there's a limit to how much I can get away with not caring. And when it comes to trying to do or trying to complete those incomplete Let's Plays, at a certain point in time, I have to stop and go, this is falling too far below what is expected of me. And those expectations come from myself, the platform, and they should come from you guys as a viewership, as a viewer base. So I'm willing to do things that won't perform well, but only to a certain extent. And it's an arbitrary standard that I just don't want to go below, because I shouldn't have to. And yeah, I would love to sit there and say, I would literally love to sit there and stomach an entire bad game to show you, as opposed to telling you. But telling you is faster, easier, and gets better results than a proper Let's Play of even a bad game. So that's one of the reasons why you see more people talking about games than you do people actually playing them. And it's unfortunate. Because even if a game is bad, if I know that people are going to stick with me through it, I would choke it down. Because a lot of these bad games do have certain redeeming qualities. I don't think I've ever played a game that was just start to finish completely bad. There's always something in there that's interesting or neat, or, you know, they could earn themselves some constructive criticism. But at the end of the day, people don't want to see that. Generally speaking, people don't want to see that. And when it comes to, you know, it being doomer and rage, that's just a product of the product. Make a good game, you get positivity. I mean, I can be positive about games, as we found out recently. It's rare, very rare, and it's getting more and more rare as time passes, but it does happen. So that's just something that I want people to think about. The art of Let's Plays being dead and gone is really unfortunate to me, and I want to hear what you guys think about it. It's especially frustrating to me because while video series Let's Plays don't get views, people will sit there for a live stream and watch a streamer go through the entirety of a game in 1 to 2 sittings. And while that's kind of sort of comparable to a traditional Let's Play, it's not fun to marathon a game like that. It's not fun to marathon every game like that, most certainly. Sure, certain games lend themselves to live streaming more than others, but I don't want to beat every game I play from now on in 1 to 2 sittings. Some of these games are really, really long. And a lot of other games can't be beat. They don't have a definitive end. There's been so many live service games and pop-up MMOs, 4-player co-op games that might have a fun primary gameplay loop. Because they focus on gameplay, they don't have like a narrative end. They're just things that you play maybe with your friends, or you play for competitive purposes, but you can't beat a lot of these new games. You just play them until you get sick of them. You can't make a Let's Play like that, and those games are great for streaming, but if you try to make a video series about them, unless you're making like a compilations clip or clipping funny moments, it's just not preferable. I don't want to play the blame game too much. I know that part of my job as a content creator is to make that type of content enjoyable for you guys to watch and make you want to watch more of it. And despite my best efforts, I can admit that I might not have been doing the greatest job at that. But the bottom line comes down to, if I can't make it work, then I do need to move on to things that I can make work, and that means moving away from certain things and towards others. I try my best not to hop on trends and play follow the leader, because that's just not enjoyable for me. And when you oversaturate stuff to that degree, then you end up with a bunch of people that are all doing the same thing, and it's not fun to watch them, and then you're seeking something different, and yada 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 yada. It's a mess. So I try my best not to do that. When it comes to reaction content, I'm gonna have to react to some stuff at some point in time, but I want to do it in a way that doesn't feel like I'm stealing because I want the content to be me and not somebody else's content. So I'm still trying to play mental gymnastics on how to get over that. But you know, it's a work in progress. Some of these games I want to like space out and enjoy over a period of time. And when a live streamer has to knock out a game that quickly just so they can move on to the newest game, or a new game comes out while they're in the middle of what they're already playing, so they have to... It's stressful. And I don't think that it's a good way to enjoy the media of video games. There are obviously exceptions, like it's okay to do that sometimes, but to do it every single time, it's just too much. It's too much. But I thought that I would make a quick video about this because it was an interesting post that I saw. I'd really love to hear what you guys think about it. What's the difference between a Let's Play broken down into videos and a Let's Play that's done via live streaming? But anyway, as always, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in another video.